So I'm here today with the NARS Holiday Collection. I finally got round to it. It did launch later in the UK, but it has been here several weeks, but finally getting round to it. So I have the Face and Body Illuminating Powder here. I have the Setting Powder, which comes in multiple different colours and is colour correcting. I have the Eyeshadow Quad, which I basically have everything on, so you're getting a little bit of a spoiler there. I have this Shifty Gloss, which has a purple shift in it. This one is definitely worth watching. And I have the lipstick that came with this collection. I also bought the lip kit, so we have in the lip kit a liner and a gloss to go together. And also, for the very first time for me anyway, and on this channel, I'm trying out these multi-sticks from NARS. I've got two different shades. So I've got the lilac-y shade and I've also got the Orgasm shade. So we're going to try both of those on beneath powder and on top as well, and on the lip, so we can see how they work. So you're going to see all of these products in action, hear all of my thoughts, and hopefully you can tell me what you think. So I can't wait to show you this. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah. I'm 48. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favorite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. My skin tone as well, I have fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones, so it does work quite well with this sort of cool tone collection, but they do lean a bit neutral, so I can get away with warms as well. And I also have blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's dive straight into this NARS Holiday Collection review. So I've got my base on and I'm going to start looking at everything with the powder. So I've got here the Moon Wave Light Reflecting Prismatic Powder. So I don't know if this is a brand new shade because I've certainly not seen it before. So we've got all sorts of pastel-y colours in here. So if I give this a swatch. Now I have used NARS pressed powder before and it's pretty good for under the eyes. So you can see it's coming across pretty much white. So let's try it as a setting powder. I'll just go in with my sponge to make sure that all of my concealer is firmly pressed in. So let's give this a go. I've got my Nikki LaRose N14 and I'm going to set. Looking good so far, no sign of creasing here. I don't think it's as smoothing straight away as the Fenty pressed powder, but it's not bad. Is it brightening though? I don't think on my skin tone it's particularly brightening, maybe a little bit, but maybe these sort of warmer colours like the yellow in this is sort of counteracting the blue and the pink, because it does look like there's quite a lot of blue there, doesn't it? So it looks like it could be quite brightening, but I don't think it is that brightening. But it's a shade that's going to work basically for a lot of people. It is brightening. It has given me a puff of brightness. You can see, can't you, a little bit there. Yeah, that's doing the job quite nicely actually. So I'll do the rest of my T-zone, but that's all I'm going to set for now because I want to try the multi-stick, which isn't part of their holiday release, but I really wanted to try it. I still haven't tried it. I've never tried them actually. They just recently launched new shades, I believe, or they changed the formula. Something was new anyway. I don't think it was a new product. But I've picked up two shades, so I want to try those before any powders go on. And the two shades I've got are Orgasm Crave and I've got Trance. Trance is the one I want to use, so that's the one I'll go with today, but I'll swatch both of them to show you. So these can be used on lips, eyes, cheeks, I believe. So here it is, a beautiful shade actually, really, really nice, quite deep and rich for a sort of lilac-y shade. It's, yeah, Trance, that one. Blendable stick to add colour and luminous sheen wherever you like, cheeks, lips and eyes. Yeah, so you can use it on eyes, but I wouldn't choose to be honest. It's enriched with oils, vitamin E, so quite a hydrating formula. So let's take a look at Orgasm. I had to get the Orgasm because it is always such a popular shade, but I want to try something a bit cooler today to go with the look that we'll be looking at with the holiday release. So very first time trying this. I'll use my Rapha Shadow brush, which I've been using all the time since it launched, the Shadow 05. Now it doesn't look clean, and that's because I've already used it to apply my concealer on the face, some contour and some cream bronzer. So I'm going to take some on the ends of the brush, so you can see what it's picking up there, and then pat it on. Now you should in theory be able to swipe these on, but I just don't want to. I prefer not to. Generally anything that's swipe on, I never really enjoy doing it. Obviously it can run the risk of moving products, but it just doesn't apply as nicely. This Shadow brush is magic. Look at the way it just applies everything so perfectly. I've already bought a backup of this, by the way, so I was sent the Shadow 5 so kindly from Rapha when it launched, but the day I used it, went on the website and ordered another one. It's not going to be a backup actually, it's going to be a powder. I want to have two on the go so that when I go in with powders I can move from creams to powders, because I want to try the brush out as a powder brush, and I haven't done that yet because I just can't stop using it for creams because it's so perfect. Used it every single day since I got it. It's absolute magic. So I haven't got the brush specifically linked below, but I always have the brushes, the brush brands that I use linked in my description below. So I do have Rapha linked below. And this is the Shadow 05. It's just perfection, it really is. I'm talking about the brush and not the blush here. Isn't this a lovely shade? I think it's actually quite perfect for me, and it's going to be perfect for this look. So it's a lovely cool tone shade that's blending out beautifully. And you can see there with me taking a bit more of it, it builds very nicely as well. And it is going slightly onto the eye, which is what I like to do. So you could argue we're seeing it on the eyes just a tiny bit there. Obviously not as a proper eyeshadow base or anything. A tiny bit more up here. Yeah, it's very easy to work with. And a really nice sort of cool tone, really like this. Let's try it on the lips as well, I think. Let's put a bit on the lips. So I'll take some on my finger. Oh, that's pretty. Now with these products, they work so well on the cheeks because they've got all those oils in that really help it blend in almost like a cream. That means they'll last on the lips for about 3 seconds. So it's nice. Certainly if you wanted to take this out with you and keep it in your bag, I think this would be something where you could just tap your finger on and just give yourself a little top up with your finger during the day on the cheeks and on the lips, because look how easy that was there, just to pat a bit more on. So it's one of those products where if you just feel like, oh, I need a bit of colour and a little touch on the lips, that's where I think these sorts of products are really good. So you can see it's working very easily actually, just with a touch of a finger. So far so good with those. I'm looking forward to trying Orgasm next. Not quite as smooth an application as you get with the Shadow there, but anyway, that's given you an idea. I think I will set the rest of my face using the powder so we can see how it sets everything. So let's even set the cheeks, maybe go in with a bit more cream on top of the powder as I usually like to do. Now it's not a powder I would usually use for all over the face, it's a powder I would usually just use for under the eyes really, but let's give it a go. I'll go in with my powder brush. So it's supposed to have colour correcting properties with all of these mixed colours together, and it's supposed to really even out the complexion as well as being smooth and blurring. It does definitely apply very nicely, doesn't it? It sits very lightly on the skin. And has it taken down the tackiness? It has quite a lot actually. Not as much as using the Fenty loose powder, which is my favourite these days for really taking down any sort of tackiness from your products, but it's done a pretty good job. Oh, I like this, you know. Definitely works well with my complexion. I do think it gives you quite an even tone all over as well. I think that it stands up to what it promises basically. I'm pleasantly surprised by how smooth my skin feels with having put just such a light layer of this on. So yeah, very, very pleased with that actually. It's gone very well. But let's move to another powder now, because I want to try this. The reason I've chosen this top today, this colour top works quite well with what we're wearing, but let me just lower it just a tiny bit. Because we have, excuse my red neck, I'm starting to introduce tretinoin onto this area to try and reduce pigmentation. And can you see how irritated my neck is from tretinoin? I don't know whether to give up or persevere. But yeah, it has always been a really sensitive area, so I've got redness all over the place there. But anyway, let's highlight the redness and make it look even worse by using the Skyrocket. Now this has beautiful packaging. And this is a face and body powder, I believe. Let me get the details. Face and body powder, yes, Skyrocket. A sheer opalescent dust that catches every flicker of light. So underneath all these lights, let's see. I have actually played with this. It's the only thing in this entire try on today that I have played with, and I didn't really pick up on it. But anyway, here's how it looks. It looks really, really pretty. We'll try it at the end as a highlighter as well. And then if I turn it, can you see the way it catches in the light? I don't think it's showing here on camera. When I look at it, I can see it catching. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up on that, but anyway, let's put a dusting of this over the neck. And like I said, I've tried this once before and I felt that I couldn't see it. Is it starting to make my collarbones pop a bit? I think it is. Doesn't look great, does it, with all this redness? Anyway. I do like the idea of having a more of a subtle, elegant glow, especially from a powder, not a cream. If you're wearing dresses, especially now at this time of year, you might be wearing dresses that are like this, where you're showing your neck and the top of your shoulders, and you want to have that sort of glow for a party look. Obviously this would be good for the summer as well, but now heading into the holiday season, dresses with tops like this. Can you see what I mean? I mean, I am under beaming lights. It's not massively noticeable, and I've gone back in and back in and back in. There's something there, but it's not enough, I don't think, for anyone to really notice. I don't know. What do you think? I'm a little underwhelmed. Anyway, let me do a swatch of this on my finger so you can see what it looks like. Because look, you see that swatch and you think, wow, this should really pop. I mean, I don't know if it's just matching my skin tone too much. You see on my hand there. See, it does pop there on my hand, but it's not really popping much on my skin. I don't know. I find it a bit confusing. I can't just keep applying it, can I? If you notice it at any point in this video, actually, I think it's popping a bit there now. Maybe I just need to put an absolute ton of it on. Maybe that's the answer. Yeah, I can see the pink there. Okay, that's the answer. Just keep going back in and in and in. Maybe the top layer was a bit dry and I'm breaking through into the bottom layer. Maybe that's got something to do with it, and it will get better because it's starting to pop more easily now. Okay, maybe that's what it is. So if you do try this and you're underwhelmed, maybe it's just because you have to break through this top layer. Can you see the pink? I'm definitely seeing that pink now. Oh, that's better. I'm pleased I'm actually seeing it. That is much better. Right. Let's now go back into the multi-stick. That's the Orgasm. I'm going to use... Shall I try Orgasm on top? Oh, let's do that. I can't resist. I don't know if it'll look really weird on top of Trance, but let's try it. So go back in with the Shadow 5 brush and take a little bit on the brush. Let's try a little bit now. So this is going on top of powder so we can see how it performs. That's gone on fine actually. Hasn't lifted the powder. I think if I swiped across it probably would have. I don't know, it might not have. If you've tried it with these, please do let me know in the comments. But even if it doesn't lift powder, I still prefer the sort of application you get by using a brush, especially this one, because it's so good. Oh, I like that. That is quite the success. Can I put some on my lips as well? Are you even going to see it on top of that Trance? Yeah, you can see the sort of goldy, it's showing up all the lines in my lips there. Because the Orgasm Flick, was it? No. Crave. Where did I get Flick from? It's got that gold in it, and it's definitely showing up on my lips in a bad way. So that was not so good on the lips, really. On the cheeks, it's giving that sort of glow that you get from a highlighter, so you don't really need a highlighter. But we're going to try the Face and Body powder as a highlighter today. So I think I'll go again with my Refa brush, the new Holiday brush, which I've already forgotten the name of. I told you I would do that. I'm not going to look it up and slow down the video. So with this brush, I'm just going to tap it across the top of my cheek here. I want it to be quite subtle. I don't want it to be beaming because the Orgasm's already given me that pop of glow. And that's definitely what I'm getting. It's not beaming. I think if I went in with a more dense brush, I would probably see much more of that pop of pink. But I really don't want that on top of the Orgasm. Just subtle. That's quite nice, actually. So if you're someone who doesn't like a highlighter that's over the top, this is actually quite a perfect one because it's giving me that shine look without being over the top, and it's definitely good on texture. So this is a mature skin friendly highlighter. Oh, I quite like this one. I think I'll use this brush, the N14, to take some down the nose and the Cupid's bow. Oh yeah, it's not a wow moment, but it is pretty. The packaging is really, really, really nice. You do get a lot of product in this one as well. How much do you get? 13 grams. That's quite impressive. And it's made in Italy. I think I need to try a lip product on before I move on because I've got a few to try today. So let's try this gloss on its own. So here is the packaging. And it's called the Afterglow Lip Shine Intergalactic. Catch light from every angle with the NARS Gleam Afterglow Lip Shine. A clear gloss with a hint of purple iridescence. Can't see anything on the end of that really, but let's see what it looks like. Oh, yes, I can see it when I swatch it. Oh, this is pretty. There. That is not a hint. That's quite a wow. Oh, I love toppers and gloss like this. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Nice consistency. Very soft and silky feeling. Not as thick as you find with a lot of glosses like this. It's not that thick. Making it a good topper. Gosh, that really delivers on the shine, doesn't it? More so than most of them, and there's been some really good ones, but I think this one actually delivers more. Oh, that's really nice. So I do actually have a lipstick and a lip kit to look at. So at some point sort of before the end we will look at the lipstick, and I will finish with the lip kit, I think. So we've got this lipstick and this lip kit. I'll finish with this because it's got that liner. But I'll leave this on for now so you can admire the beauty of that shift. Wow, lovely. So time for the eyeshadow. Now this is the main reason I even bought this, because I know this entire collection launched ages ago in the US. In fact, it's been in the UK for several weeks now. But I was going to skip this. I've never been a massive fan of NARS, I have to be honest. I've never been that wowed by them, but this admittedly is a real cool tone story. And so many people said, have you tried it? How does it work on you? And I just thought, well, I've got to try it. I think that's the only way. So I've gone for the whole collection based on this eyeshadow. So let's hope I enjoy it. Certainly I've enjoyed the 2 multi-sticks I've tried, but that wasn't Holiday Collection. But I'd say that's the, oh, and this lip product, gorgeous. So they're the standouts for me so far. Let's see what I think of this. And I'm thinking really 2 different looks, because I'm wondering if I don't know. I'll just see how it goes. Let's start with the blue. I'm using a blender brush from Victoria Beckham, and I'm going to just put this all over the lid, in the crease and above, so a full base shade here. Oh, that's a lovely tone of blue, and that really does show up on my skin tone immediately. Look at that, and how it goes straight away with my top. I love that. Now, I was thinking a different look, because I could do the brown, the sort of taupey brown as a base, but I don't know if I want to. I think I might do the same look on both sides. I'm a bit torn here. I love this blue. I love it. It's so nice. I'll take my... Which one shall I go with? I've been trying to stick to using shadow brushes again. So I'm going with... Which one's this? The Shadow 03. So I'll take this one here. I don't know if it's enough to build up depth, but let's just try it. Built on top of the blue. I'm hoping this will just give a little bit of depth. Very small amount, because it's very, very light in pigment. Which is why I'm thinking they both, oh, it does work. It does build, wow. I was just about to say they both work as base shades because they're so light, but look how much pigment I just got from that when I went in for more. That's really surprised me. Didn't look like it was going to be that pigmented. They're both really pigmented. Very light colours, but look at the pigment. Whew. Did not see that coming. Let's take some of the blue and go around the edge of this. So I think that's answering my question about doing the same on both sides. Because of the amount of depth I got from that, I think I will stick to doing the same look on both sides. At the same time, I know you tend to prefer it when I don't. Okay, I won't. I'm so indecisive, aren't I? Let's go with this one. In fact, no, let me try something else completely different. I'm going to wipe that off, honestly. Am I driving you mad? What I'm going to do on this side is put the pink all over. Because I think that's quite a nice colour as a base as well. But obviously this one is shimmery. But this one will allow you to really see this pink. Now, obviously less pigment, more shine. Relatively mature skin friendly here. Very easy to apply and work with. Where are these made? Are these also made in Italy? Made in Canada. And so far, everything I've tried that says made in Canada has been a real success. And this one, oh, I love that actually. That is really nice. So this could be a one and done, you know, this shade. I really like that. So I'm thinking, just take a little bit of this darker shade to put in the outer V section. That really does work. I'll take my pencil pro brush and go into this light brown, or taupe, maybe it would be better described as, and take this underneath both eyes. I can tell you pretty much straight away that this is probably the best NARS quad I've tried. It's not just the colours, there's something about the formula and the pigment and the performance and how easy it is. And I'm really shocked that this very, very light brown on me is showing up enough to make me think I don't need a liner. Look how much colour I got from that. Take it a bit close to the lash line as well. That has really surprised me. So I think on this side, I'll take this pink on my finger and put a pop of that in the centre here. Now I'm doing that to start before I decide whether to go further with it, but I am going to. So I'm taking it now across. to the, not all the way, but to meet the deeper taupe there. Oh yeah, that is really pretty, and you can see how much more it pops using your finger and putting it on top of that blue base. That is very pretty. That makes me want to take it more now on this side with my finger. So this is the pink with my finger with no blue base. Gosh, it's quite a difference. With blue base, without, it pops a lot more on top of that blue than it does on its own. It certainly pops more with a finger, but on this side, without the blue matte base and using my finger, it's definitely clinging onto lines and really exaggerating them. It's not very complementary, so I wouldn't advise using your finger without that blue base, which gives you a much smoother finish actually. But what I'll try next is this lightest shimmer as my inner corner on both sides. Yep, that works. I'm going to just take it slightly across here, and then on this side, inner corner again. And I think what I'd probably do on both sides is take a bit of this, just bring it into that inner first third of the lid. So on this side it's going on top of that blue, and immediately it's much better on top of the blue. So that's definitely going to be, if you've got my skin tone, that's my recommended way to apply this, is have a blue base, because the blue base really does make everything look better. That is clinging to lines a bit much though, which means I'm not going to be using this one under the eyes. Let me get my Patrick Tar. This feels weird saying this all the time and not saying Black Diamond, but anyway, I am enjoying it. So let me take this, put under the brow. I definitely need a clean up because I've been quite rough in my application today. So let's just give it a little bit of a clean up using this powder. I think as well, I'll go in with my Shadow 3 brush and wrong powder and go back into the eyeshadow and into the pink. I want to see a bit of this pink above my lid. Just that little touch, and I'll do the same on this side. Yeah, this is definitely the better side out of the two for me. So the only thing missing from this side is the blue base. Basically, they're pretty much the same looks, minus the blue base. This one looks almost slightly warmer, just having the pink and the brown. Definitely this one's giving more of an ice finish, and we're getting a real shift there between the two. I really like this one. So before I add mascara, let me try the lipstick on. So here is the packaging for the lipstick. This is NARS Explicit Lipstick Blame is the shade. High fashion meets high impact. The limited edition NARS Explicit lipstick. I'm not sure about this shade for me, you know. Is a couture moment for your makeup bag, created in collaboration with visionary designer Iris van Herpen. This lipstick comes dressed in holographic packaging, inspired by her otherworldly futuristic designs, inside a universally flattering neutral pink. So this delivers luxurious high impact colour. I really don't know about this shade on me, and certainly not with this look, but anyway. It does seem a strange colour to go with this look, doesn't it? Let's try it anyway. Oh, I don't know about that. I really don't think that goes with anything I've got on right now. And I don't know what you think, but doesn't this seem a strange colour to go with this eyeshadow? Very creamy, very comfortable. The NARS Explicit range is very, very creamy and comfortable. I've always liked the formula. Not massively long lasting, I'd say though. Let me try this topper and see if I can bring it down and make it a bit cooler with this on top. It sort of introduces that hint of purple. I've made a right mess of the applicator now. that makes it better, but it's still not a perfect match, but it certainly helps. I just find it a very strange addition to the collection, do you know what I mean? Anyway, I will go off camera, do my mascara, take this off, and then we can finish by trying the lip kit. So there's both eye looks with some mascara added. I think this one looks prettier when I'm pulling my whole eye down, but when I'm looking at it, it's just okay, I think. I don't know if you can tell, I'm just not massively excited about this collection. I had a feeling this would happen. Anyway, let's try the NARS lip duo to finish. See if this one can wow me. So this one's got the liner and a gloss, I believe. Line and Shine lip duo, Rosebud and Orgasm. So I don't know about Orgasm on the lips, whether that's a great idea, but let's try. I mean with this look, by the way, not in general. So again, it's going to be a bit warm really to finish this look, but maybe a bit of warmth mixed with the cool isn't such a bad thing. We've got the Orgasm on the cheeks, so let's see the two. Very pretty actually, the two together. So there's the gloss, a little bit of pigment there. I don't know if I've ever tried a lip liner from NARS before. This might be a first, so let's see. I like this shade, you know. I really like that. So I'm making this quite thick because I know that that gloss is not going to give me a lot in terms of colour. So I've made that almost like covering the lips, but I have left a little bit clear because I want to have more coverage. So now let's try the Orgasm gloss. It's just a mini, by the way, not a big size. Well, these work together beautifully, don't they? Again, I'm not sure it goes with the eye look, but I do think it's a pretty combination. But for me personally, for my colouring, and certainly with a cool tone look, I'm not convinced. I don't know. I'm just quite underwhelmed, but anyway, I'm going to leave it. So going back to everything, we started with the under eye powder, the pressed powder. I'm calling it under eye because that's really how I'd use it. And this also has the name Iris Van Herpen, which is the designer. I thought it was just the lipstick that this designer was involved in, but it must be the actual packaging as well. So obviously we have the same packaging on everything I'm showing you, just slightly different, as in this one's got more like swirls on it. But anyway, this powder did a very good job, very, very good. So definitely be using this more. It won't be replacing my Fenty, but I will use it a bit more. And then we had this face and body illuminating powder, which looks a lot more impressive, I think, from swatching it and from looking at it in the actual pan compared with how it looks actually on. Now, we did see a little bit of pink after I applied a ton of the stuff, and maybe, like I said, that was because I needed to get beneath to get more from it. It gave me a very subtle highlight, a very sort of natural highlight, so it's not over the top. Very mature skin friendly, so if that's your thing, this could suit you, and this will give you a huge amount that will last for ages. I think this one has the best packaging overall. It's not flat, it's actually raised. So it feels quite nice as well, very smooth. So I do like that. And then the packaging for the eyeshadow, there's no swirl on this, it's just the colour. And then I was impressed by the pigment I got from the mattes, but I think that what I wasn't that impressed with was the shimmers. So I just don't think they're very mature skin friendly. The pink looks nice on top of the blue. Not so good on its own, as we saw here on mature skin anyway. I do think the pink is a nice shade. I just think it's a bit... It works, it's easy to use. It gives you quite a nice everyday look if you've got my skin tone, if you like cool tones. But I think there's better cool tone eyeshadows out there. We had Plum Parade from Dior, and we had the Nuit Astral from Chanel, which for me are a million times better than this one. Easily, actually. But it's nice. I can't say it's bad, it's just nice, and that's it. So for me, when you're spending your money, nice isn't acceptable really, is it? Then the lipstick, again, packaging gorgeous, but the shade doesn't go with any of the products that came with this collection, in my opinion. Just looking at it again, I mean, it really blows my mind, the colour of it. I just don't see how it goes with this. And also not a colour I'm likely to want to use. Probably my favourite thing from the whole collection was this. This is actually stunning. I love the colour of this. I love the shift of this. I mean, let's maybe finish, even though I've got that Orgasm gloss. Let's just put some more of this on. Look at that, it's so stunning. So if you're going to get anything from this collection and you've got similar taste to me, it would be this. I think that's beautiful. And the lip kit, I think the liner worked well. It's not the best liner I've used. It was a little bit more dry and less creamy. The shade is good. It's not my favourite shade. I did think it was quite pretty when I first applied it. I think with summery sort of shades on my face generally, I would prefer it. Can't even see it now. So here, I think definitely with summery eyes and cheeks, these two colours together would be really nice, and I think that they would work well, but it just doesn't work brilliantly with what I'm wearing. So they're okay. I can feel a bit of movement now. That's probably because I've got gloss and gloss on top of each other. Something that wasn't part of this collection, which has taken me so long to get around to reviewing, were these two here, and I really like these. I thought they worked brilliantly. So these multi-sticks, definitely for cheeks anyway. I don't think I'd personally be using these on lips or eyes. I think they're just very nice blush sticks. That's the way I would look at them. But you can put that little pop of colour on the lips, and you can also just dab a bit on your cheeks with your finger, which I really do like about that. So I like the fact that I can just add to my lips if you just want to take one product out with you to top up during the day instead of having multiple products in your bag. So I do think it works for that, and they're really good. Everything else, generally this holiday collection is a little bit disappointing for me, I have to say. And this seems to happen to me a lot with NARS collections. I hate being negative, but I actually regret doing this review, in all honesty. I don't like being negative, and I also don't like spending this much money on a collection I might not use again, and that's basically what's just happened. So I would love to hear your thoughts. You know me, I'm normally so excited about makeup, and I just don't feel very excited about anything apart from this. This is exciting, but let's face it, I've got about 10 of these right now, and it's not going to beat Fenty. That's never going to happen. So yeah. Not the best review ever, but if you love it, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please do feel welcome to tell me it's amazing and I'm completely wrong if that's how you feel about it, because obviously we have very different opinions, and some of you may absolutely love this. So if you do, that's great, and I'm over the moon for you. But if you don't like it, or if you're thinking of getting it, if you're put off getting it from watching this, or maybe you're encouraged to try something from it because of this, whatever your thoughts are, I'd absolutely love to hear them down in the comment section below. And if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I would be over the moon if you did. But if you already are, thank you so much for being here at the end of another review. I'm super grateful to you all for being here, I truly am. And I hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye.